In the upcoming video I will show you guys how to make like not perfect but almost the perfect videos to showcase your furniture, your house, or because I've seen like many videos that it's like really annoying to watch because you start with the video, you don't position it well, and it's annoying, so everybody will close your videos even if what you're filming it looks great, even if the video, the images, the colors, maybe you're in it and it looks perfect. However, persons will close it because the camera movements are so bad and annoying. It gets like really hard to watch the video, you know. And now I will show you what's the problem and then I will show you the solution. So let me show you a problem, for example, and I will use twin motion because twin motion is really easy to use because I can position the camera wherever I want and I don't have to go out, and I'm I'm just lazy to go out to make pictures and jump and like put ropes and things like those. And sorry about the quality of the audio because I was moving recently and I didn't found the cable for the Rode microphone, but probably these days I will solve it and the quality of the audio will be great. So look, the first problem that I see, that when you're starting to movement with a camera, let's say you're moving from left to right, it's really good, and it even doesn't matter what happens next or what's happening, but the problem is like the first frame when you position it, for example. So the problem here, for the first problem, let's say, like I think one of the biggest problem is, so everybody's lazy, everybody's like annoyed, everybody wants the information fast or they want to be entertained. So the issue here is how we process the information, because our brain and we as usual like humans want to not think because we are tired and we don't care. That's why we watch Mr. Beast, you know, because it's not tiring our brains. And with the camera it will make sense. So if I put the camera here, it's tiring because you can decide, your brain, your subconscious can decide, I should see, like I should check the man here because like it's a big part of the image, or I check the woman, and it's like it's not decided what should you check. So every time when you start the camera, when you put your camera and you start the frame, it should be like, let's say you decide the woman should be like the first thing, and when you look at it and you have like a third of the second, you should tell, oh, it was a woman there, and you see that. And afterwards, let's say like a few splits of the seconds afterwards, you say, oh, it's a tree. But now it's like not positioned well because I can't decide if I watch the tree or I watch the woman, and it's annoying. So you don't know why, but you don't want to watch the image because it gets annoying in a subconscious level. So you rather close the video, isn't it? So the solution here, help the persons. Look, so when you put it here, for example, it's not that good. So you decide what's the first thing that people see in like a tenth of the second. If you can decide, you put the camera in another way. Let's say first you think in a picture, afterwards you put like cameras on the path that you want to like render or you want to go, and afterwards you will see that it will be great. So let's say we remain here. So even so, it kind of gets better here, but you move the camera till you found the position. For here example, no? So if you look at here, the human, like the person, is like at 1/3 of the image. So it's like easy to see if you heard about the golden ratio and all of it. So you see the person, it's great. And afterwards, the person, the second is the tree. And the third, what you will see is this tree. And afterwards, you will see the woman there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it has an order. Let's say we put the picture here. So if I press that, the camera will remain here. Okay, now we want to search like another image that we like, or we want to move the camera. It doesn't really matter where we move, but let's say we want to move it here. And it's like, see, it's another thing. You put that 1/3, here's the person. You're not decided like, and you don't like the angle because it really looks bad, and so it would be like a good image, but it gets annoying because that's like Quasimodo, so it's not a healthy person that is there. Let's say you come, oh, it's the same person. So you keep try with the angles. It's not about, oh, you have to do it fast. I'm just showing you like, just keep moving it till you find a good position. Let's say you're coming here, and let's say you like it, or you, It's pretty good because see, like 1, you see the person's back. It's like a definitely 1. The woman is the second. The third is the greenery, like the bushes or what's that. And maybe 1, 2, 3, that's the fourth. Let's say. So you make another image. Okay, and now let's say you put it to 10 seconds. Like 13 seconds. Let's see what's happening. So here I don't like that in this area, when you start to move it, it comes into the person, so I don't like it. We'll have to change something. Here I like it because look, it's almost his 1, that's like the second, and the guy, it will be like the third. So it's kinda good, kinda, let's say. But I don't like how it comes in because look, here it will be okay if the guy will be more at the left. Because now he's in the middle and it's annoying because I'm not decided to watch the person or watch the woman or watch that one. So it gets confused. Well, I get confused and look, if you just watch it, see, here it's boring in that area and here it's annoying again. You don't realize why it's annoying, but you want to close it. So let's try to put it here. It's like a trial and error, you know, it's not like you will know in a second. And after you start to play with it for like a few minutes, afterward you will master that area because you will know the good positions and the bad ones. You know? Let's say you put it here. I'm not sure. We are like trying and error. It's not about, oh, I have to put it like in the first. And I want to show you like how to struggle because it's not about, oh, I have to finish in like 2 seconds. No, let's see what happens now. So here I like that the guy remains like in the same place. See, the guy remains at, yeah, it would be good, but it's moving here. So the main idea, you have to play with it. Or like the second one, let's say you want to film the woman here. And sometimes it gets annoying because let's say we make another video, okay? So the video starts here. I don't want to set up now the camera like in the best position. I'm just showing the movement. So it starts here, and persons, let's say you film here. And it's annoying in a way because at one point you're here, the camera, it's kind of moving in a circle, like a part of the circle. And here it starts to move like parallel with the bench. And it gets like, it's not strange in the small picture because here you start to concentrate on the man and you start to keep focus, keep focus on it, and afterwards it goes away, you know. And the problem is you need to struggle in a way to do so. I'm not saying that you have to focus on something all the time and you have to keep the focus no matter what on it, but it gets annoying sometimes. And if you think about just like a 5 or 6 seconds video, and afterwards you will have like the third video that will force you for like 2 seconds to focus on something, and after you will be forced to focus on another thing, and it gets annoying for your eye. So the idea would be, let's say you are here. Sorry, I don't want that one. Let's make a new video. Let's say we want to focus on the bench, and we'll follow the bench. So wait a bit, I'm helping myself here. We'll move slower because we are quite fast. Okay. So let's say I want to follow the bench with the camera. I put it here. Let's say I will start from here, a little bit upper for here example. Okay. And I will follow the bench. And I will stop here. So what's happening? If you wait, I think I have a frame somewhere in plus. I'm deleting it here now. Sorry, I got confused. I think I put it like twice. Ah, no, I deleted the bad one. Sorry, it was my bad. So we're doing it again. Yep. So we are going back here. Yeah, we're going down. And I will overdo it because probably it will be cut when you do with 2 videos. And now, okay, let me see it. Oh, I'm a total disaster here. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. So here, okay, my computer is not the strongest and it has a lag, but the main idea is that your eye will follow one thing. Let me prove it to you even better. When you're coming here, let's say you're coming near it, see? So your eye, it's relaxing because you start to focus on the thing and it's continuous, you know. And after this video is over and you start a new video, let's say you're coming here, you make a new video, then, for example, you continue, but not with a movement that's going like from up to down or like to left, like in a 45 degree angle. But you try to continue the same movement. For example, we come here. Let's say what we like here, like this guy. Let's say we want to make a video here. Okay. Oh, sorry, I messed it up. I didn't use twin motion for a while, so I'm making like mistakes here. Now we have to go back. Let's say we want to film this guy from close. So we start the video here, assuming that I will cut out like the woman like 2 or 3 seconds from her, from the video. And I'm coming to here. Let's see what we are seeing. Okay, I want to move closer now. And in a moment I will show you like other movements as well that are more complicated, that I want you just to see the difference. And it's really easy to do it, because if you're in a real life and you're not with twin motion, you can put like a cable and you can move your cameras on the cable, so it's really easy to do so, and it won't move in other directions. Oops, the guy went away. This guy is moving. That was the problem. The guy is moving a lot. So I'm not keeping in a line. I will put link in a semicircle. So look. But the main idea is it is the same, that your eye won't struggle. So look, we focus on the guy. The guy is like really annoying with his movement. Yeah, see? Now it's kind of better. Yeah, it's challenging, that's what I want to show, because the guy is moving, and look, he's moving like 2 meters or something like that. So I'm really challenged to put the camera in a good position. So that's the maximum he will come. Now we're waiting. Okay, we lock the screen. And now we're waiting what's the maximum he will come here, because I don't want his face in the camera like the millimeter. But he's really annoying with his big movements for sure. But the main idea, if you noticed, so we had the beams at the middle of the image, and his head within this image, or like within this sequence, it's at the same level mostly. See, mostly it's at the middle, and here we have the focus point at the middle, and here it's the same kindish. But the problem is the guy is moving like it's not controlled, like it's not like I can tell him, hey, move in this direction. But even so, look. However, the issue is now here it's moving kind of slowly, and there it moves kind of fast. So it's annoying in a way, because you have one pace and it changes. Here the dynamic is like really different. Let's start to continue with another one. The main idea is to don't make your eyes work, to make it easy for your eyes. For example, when you're here, put a camera here, and you move it here. And now we are not in a line, we are going in a circle or something like that. However, the issue is you have to imagine a circle, and you have to imagine in your imagination that the spline, what's on. So if you make it in a line that's like not the best look, I will show you. Let's put like 3, 4 cameras. It will start to... Okay, we put the 4th camera here. It won't work, so I'm showing you in the worst possible way. Look. So it's really annoying, because your eyes can't decide where to watch, and your eyes can't rest. So you have to help your eyes. Or even if you're moving and everything is moving, so you're not focused on something and you don't have like the focal point at 1/3 or like at the middle or somewhere, the ideal way it should be that you put, like, you imagine a spline that's in the air in 3D, and you start, even if it's curved, you need to imagine that the camera is on that curve and you're like at 90 degrees on that curve. So for example, if you're here, let's say this is a... where was the first camera? The first movement is here. So let's say we make a 90 degree turn. So let's say that's the first camera point here. And for the ease, I will put the second one here, you know, like turning. So look, when you move it, it's kind of easy for the eye because everything moves at once and we are used to that. So it's not like you make like sudden movements to left to right and you don't know where to follow. You're not chased by dogs. It's not like your head is everywhere. So that's a good movement. It's easy for the eye, and usually because it's a simple movement and it's like controlled, usually things like the tree here or the woman will start to become like naturally a focal point, even if you don't want it. So you don't have to think about like the golden rules or like rules of third, because things will solve themselves. See? So it's not a bad movement. It looks really good. And it's simple. However, if you change it a bit, for example, you start to not be on a line. For example, here, it's not looking that good because it loses control in a way. Because you have too much variables. Because on that version, you kind of know where to go. And here, it's not the biggest problem that you don't have the control on, let's say, it's not a rule of thirds and you can decide to watch the tree or to watch the woman. Let's say that's the smallest problem. The problem is the video will end in like 3 seconds, and after 3 seconds you will be in a situation with the next video then where you have another point of indecision. So you're putting yourself in places when your eyes have to work and your brain have to work to process the information, because you're not sure, are you even interested, like what about these trees? They are close, they are not close, what's this white? You have to struggle to understand, is that a tree? Where's the focal point? Can I focus in it, or should I watch the woman? Or is that a woman, or is it like a good render, not render? So what I try to avoid always usually it's like those movements in like a 45-degree angle or like a 20. Not because it's like annoying, it's not a problem, the 45-degree angle. The problem is if you're having like a 5 seconds video that's coming from here to there and your eyes, let's say, get used to it, and you have the another video afterwards coming that's coming from like here to there, and it's like annoying again because you're tired, you're supposedly you're not like watching videos when you work, or even so you're like just tired to process the information. So if you have like a camera movement, you try to not to change them at every frame. Even so, let's say you have a video that's like you have like a spot here, here, and afterwards you're coming down. And even if you have the equipment and you can do the fancy things, just try to avoid them, because it will be like annoying. You can go upwards, you can go forwards, but don't make like sudden movements in every directions, because it won't be good. Because look, here you're moving forward, you're moving backwards, and you're moving up. And even this one can be annoying in a way, because it will change the perspective, especially in twin motion. See? Some things you can tell it's like not the best. But if you're here, you're just moving the camera down, let's say, it's way easier on the eye, because your head remains in the same position and you're used to that. It's like the fonts on the computer. For you it's easier to read the font that you read all of your life, because you're accustomed to it. I think it's Arial, I'm not sure. So it's the same. Your head usually it's in the same position, and even if you're like going somewhere, you're like on a bike, you're in a car, you're used to the same movements. You're not used to like chaotic movements and like to watch in a 44-degree angle while you're going forwards and outside somewhere. So I don't say you shouldn't use them. You should use them, but not always, because if you do that in every camera, like in every movement, it will get like really annoying. Because look, let's come in the same place. So we are here, and we try at the next shot to go forward, because we are going forward. No, we are going down, let's say forward, and we are going here to see in this direction, and afterwards we are continuing here without, let's say, that much of a logic, and watching backwards, and it will be a total chaos. Yes, see, so you don't even understand what's happening, and you're not used to that movement, because we humans, Homo sapiens, naturally we're not doing that. Maybe monkeys that are jumping from trees to trees and they are like all over the place, they can do those movements, but we are not accustomed to that because look, like even I hate to watch the Transformers movies because I just see like I can't see nothing, you know, and it's like the most annoying movie, and I will never watch it even if they pay me because I don't understand nothing from it. I just see like blurry things, colorful blurry things. That's Transformers. Look, my version. Shoo shoo shoo. Optimus Prime. Shoo 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 shoo. So you can't understand nothing there, you know. And even if you want to do it and if you want to move it, you put a simple ellipse or like a simple spline and you move the camera on that one. And it can go up and it can go down. Let me show you in the same version. Wait a bit. Let's delete those. So we are here. Let's say we like these guys here and we want to film those guys. And we want like a complex movement that's kind of working in every direction. So let's say then we start from here at the bottom, page down. Usually I like to frame it to be like the third rule, you know, to have like one, like that's the most important, that's the second important, and like the third. But even so, let's say we put them in the middle because it doesn't matter, and I will show you I can get away without that rule. So you put the camera here, and afterwards you come with a simple ellipse. Let's say you imagine an ellipse, you know, in the air, and the camera watching in the same two-dimensional plane. Look, because if you think about it here, I move the camera from left to right. So I have like one-dimensional moving. Kinda they are the focal point here, so your eye, so it will be easy for your eye, and that's why you get away from moving to the upper part. Look, see? It's like really easy in your eye, for your eye, because if you have like this video here, look, so it goes from left to right. Your eye is like, your eyes it's at the middle of the video. And here, it's kind of there and it continues the same movement, see? And it goes a little upper, but you won't realize it because you have time to do so, you know? It's not like a fast movement. And even if you do it fast, you know, look, if you're coming fast, see? It's natural. So it won't be, your eyes and your brain will feel it like one movement because it continues, you know? And even so, let's say, you don't have to think about like two scenes like two. Think about one. So you're coming around the object and imagine the object like this, that one is continuing here. Imagine that the bench is like these two guys. And now you imagine the third one like the third object. What should it be so your eyes, it's not interrupted, you know? So you see the line, what's working here? So here you have like a line and you already here you feel it started the curvature, but it didn't. But your brains tell you it did because we watched it 3 times. And the idea is you have to think about all of the movement as one movement. So I feel that I want to continue this rotate. So here it started like a line. Here it starts to rotate, like here. You don't feel it, like there's not there, but you already feel here it starts to rotate. So now we put the question, where should it continue from here so the movement is not interrupted. So okay, let's say it will be a movement like this that will come up here. However, it's too close to the trees, but it's like here. Maybe we'll put it like 15 seconds because now it's longer. See, hop, I made a mistake because when I come here, it comes too close. Do you feel it? So when you're coming, it's a big movement, like a generous movement. It's not like forced. You have the space, you have the time, you have everything. But here, it starts to be too small, like too there. So I'm not even sure we can do it because the trees are there. So we delete this because we don't feel it where it is. So we start from start. You're coming here, and if you can do that, like coming up, let's say, in this direction, because you literally have things there and you won't be able, okay, I can put there a camera to end well, but you don't see nothing. So then I come here and I say I continue the same movement with the same speed. However, if I leave here the camera, look, I'm showing it to you. if I'm leaving here the camera, it won't be good. Because, see, it's like looking back. So it's kind of good. Look, I tell you why it's good. Because let's say, imagine yourself, you're like in a bike or you're like a car. And your dad or like mom is driving or your spouse. And you're just like watching outside from a car, you know. It's natural for the eye. You see it. And afterwards, you're going a bit like upper. But even so, you're in the same car, you know. So our eye is used to that. And afterwards, you're still dragged on that direction. So it's not that bad, see? So the whole movement continues. That's why it's kind of working. However, you have to check meanwhile like the positioning, because if you're coming down a little bit and you check the golden ratios and everything, that will be like a totally different game. So look, so it's coming like that. And it kind of can work. I'm not positioning now the camera in like the perfect place. But let's say now you want to check the, what I said, like 1, 2, 3, let's say. But now we are not killing ourselves, we are just like checking the movement. See? And what I fear that we have to come down here. Like you're grabbed in the forest, you know? Look. Let's say if you can get away with this one. But see, it's the same movement. It's one movement for the eye. See? Your eye, it's in the same place. And you're grabbed like in every direction possible. However, it looks like, let's say, let's use the fancy word like cinematographic. And afterwards, you're here. And you want to go to the next scene. And let's say we choose the next scene. Because we want to continue the same direction that we are dragged. And let's say it's a totally different spot. Let's find one. Do we find something interesting? What we like. Let's go in a different place that we... Let's say we are here because it's like nothing happens. Nothing interesting, let's say. So it's like one tree. Stop here. And we imagine, in your brain, you're imagining that you're coming out from this tunnel. So see, there's like a line here that I'm showing you with the mouse. So imagine that we use the same line to go on. And you start to position yourself. Let's say I put it in another way. Wait a bit. So we had the scene here. Imagine a line. Let's say that's like a line here. From here, and we are following that line. See? And at one point, we are leaving the line and we are coming. So the line is coming here. And we are leaving the line, the trail. Let's say we're leaving the trail. We are coming off-road and we're leaving it like 2 meters from it. And we are going down. And now we imagine that here, the new scene, we imagine that the line was here and we are on the ground because we are kind of there. Hoppa. Sorry, page down. Yeah. So imagine we are dragged here. So we put here a camera, and what movement we come here? We are coming from here somewhere and coming behind. We are not actually, but we are imagining. So what would be like the thing to do? To go back, but continue the movement in this direction. Hoppa. Sorry, I think I need to change the speed here. Walking speed. So this one. And we are going down, even more down. And let's say we want to use like to even have something with the camera here, on the camera. Because we don't want like an empty space. Sure, I'm not thinking about the golden ratios and like the 1, 2, 3 here. But look, let's say what happens. We are coming here. See? It continues in a way. You're coming, it's putting down the camera and the same movement kind of continues. And afterwards, you go on the fourth scene, let's say. And the fourth scene is not here. The fourth scene. By the way, we are making this furniture, so it will be available on sale. I made it like 2 years back. It will be like wooden furniture. We'll sell it on Maverick Mansions. It's just like a playground for me, you know, to check them how it will look. And let's say that was the position we left the camera. And it doesn't have to look the same. It's like the tree, but it can be like everything else. It can be a cat, it can be a mouse, it can be like near everything. Let's say we put here the camera. And afterwards, because every time we went in this direction, you know, and it gets like frustrating. And now we are going in another direction, so we can get away with it. Wait a bit. So it was here, So you kind of continue a bit the movement, but till now our logic was to be here. So after our logic, we should continue the movement here, but we won't do it because it's not the idea to continue the same movement like going to left all the time, but to not to annoy our brain. So now we are going to the right. However, we do it the way that your eye has time to accustom to the new direction. So it's not like you're making like a sudden, even if you make a sudden movement, you can do it, but in a way that we humans are used to it. So we are coming up in this direction, but we keep imagining, is it too short? Isn't it too straight like the line? Let's see it. So we're coming here. Hoppa. Yeah, something here is not okay, see? So we left it here. Yeah, the problem is we are too up, so we are going a little bit down. Hoppa. Down. It doesn't matter, and it doesn't have to be like the same tree. It's not like we try to fake that we are continuing the same tree. It can be a car, or it can be like a rock. It doesn't matter. Yeah, the problem is, see, like you feel yourself, you're on the ground, and afterwards you start to come up too early. That's the problem. So for first, we are going way more down. We try to keep these lines that we have for reference, see? So here, the lines are almost in a 90-degree angle with you. And when you continue here, it should kind of be the same. Because you're right, because if you continue here, it's not the problem that you're in a other place, or the problem is your eyes start to think, wait a bit, the angle changed, why it changed? And your subconscious start to think about it, and it put, wait a bit, is this another thing? And with this version, when we are putting here, your conscious mind doesn't care, you know. They just say, oh, it's movement, oh, it's great, oh, like colors, they're colors, great. But you don't have to think that much, because it's continuing. And I don't say every time you have to continue, I'm just telling it helps. Because our main goal is to not to tire the person's brain, you know, to make it simple. So what's the problem here? When they are coming, it has a speed. It's slow and it's generous, and the radius was like really big, see? From there coming here, I think it was like a 5-meter radius, maybe a car. And here our problem is, we are here and we are not continuing, it starts to rotate just here. So something it's not okay. So we're leaving this thing, we're coming here, and we try to position things in a way that will look natural. Like it's a way smaller radius, but I'm curious how it will look. Yeah, see? It looks like it's the same movement. Meanwhile, I realized I have a mosquito in the room, so yeah. See, here I have to position it so it's not, see the change, it's not the best, but afterwards it changes, the movement will work out. But here we have to put, do you understand why? So we start here, like we're going in a car, let's say, we're looking back from the car, what's happening beside us. Afterwards our head is going a little down outside of the car, and we are dragged outside from the road, and we are coming in 90-degree direction, like we are dragged on the road. And afterwards the problem is here. I think we have to go down a bit. I'm not sure here, I'm not like the biggest expert in Hollywood with the cinematography, but it's something like this, and it's too short. So the problem is, wait a bit, I'm showing you in a different way. So look, I like this video a lot. So that's not furniture, but like furniture in the becoming, let's say, with the trees. And I put a lot of movements in the video, and that's why I like it. I made it like an exercise, because here, if you start to move the camera, like everything is like moving in the different direction. Like the trees are not that special, like they kind of look the same, and you're not really, like you're not near a tree to say, oh, that's the focal point, or like that's the center of the attention. And when you start to move it, try to ignore everything. Try to ignore the cast, try to ignore like the colors, the images, try to ignore like the yellow things on it, like everything. Just concentrate on the path that you're doing, like in the 3D. Like when you start to move, just imagine what path, like what ellipse you're on, where the ellipse is more moving in 3D, and try to anticipate like the next 1 meter move, or like the curvature, or where it's going. Because look, so coming, you make a curvature, you're dragged from behind, and afterwards when you're dragged, the movement continues and you're going up, and you change direction, but you have the same velocity in a way. The problem here that I didn't do well is that, look, wait a bit, I'm just letting it to play. The problem is that the computer can't handle it that well, so it's not that fluid, the movement. But the idea is, look, like everything is moves every direction, but it's not like really hard on the eye. Here it is, because I was like in a rush and I didn't set it. It was just like an exercise. But here again, look, like because of the camera is fluid, it's a natural movement. Even you have nothing to grab on it with your eyes, even so it doesn't look like really, really annoying. And here it looks boring again, That's the idea, to make not to be boring, but even so to be like fluid. Because I didn't set up here nothing, but I like it here. Because you're coming with the cars, and look, if you think about it, if you remember the bench, so the bench, it was at the middle, and you follow the bench, and even the cars are moving, they are on the same line. So your eyes, even if you're focusing on the blue car, the red car, no matter what, it doesn't matter, it's on the same, it's like the bench, So your eyes is concentrating on the cars, because the most of the movement is here, for example, and that's the one, because your eyes, it's on the one. Here it's moving, and even if now the one is here, like the first focal point, or like the second is here, and it's moving constantly, it's in the same direction, so it's easy for your eye. It doesn't matter, it's like it kind of moves, if it makes sense. Because you will know, nobody will concentrate probably at the third tree on the background. You will concentrate here, and it will change, and it will change like a centimeter or two, but it will be here, So even if it's like the biggest movement, it will be easy for the eye. And when you start, if you think about it, it won't start in a circle, but it kind of goes parallel with them. So it's not a big difference compared to the video with the bench, with the lady and the guy on it, So it's the same. And look, you're moving, the guy is coming, and if you think about it, because both of you are moving, now I'm stopping, but if you're continuing the movement, the only constant thing is here, look, I'm going back a bit. The only distance, let's say that's constant, is your eyes locked to the driver's eyes, because it's like the same, but everything else moves. And you move, sure, you move compared to the car, but it's kind of constant. See the logic? And afterwards, you're like eye, and you're like brain says, I'm comfortable, I know what's moving now, like I'm sitting in the car and other cars are passing me, because that's what's happening, and you're used to that movement. And afterwards, let's say, okay, let's move in another direction, but you're moving it slowly. And if you realize here, it's the same thing, because your eye level and all of the moving things are the same thing. So did it change something? Basically, I changed like 90 degrees in like 3 meters, like in 2 splits of a second. But for your eyes, nothing changed, because all of the movement is like the same, like it was here. So it's really, really, really easy for your eyes. And even the whole scene is like the most boring scene you can imagine. It like looks really, really dynamic, really, really like crowded with motion. But even so, it doesn't look like tiring when it's moving. And check Maverick mentions for new videos. Usually I will talk about furnitures, and probably the furniture that I show you on the first video, it will be up on the market. Now I'm setting up the LLC and all of the legal parts, and probably it will be on sale for like in a month or something, because we have a lot of furniture that we already made. And even so, if you're not interested in furniture, when you film everything, you should use these advices, because it works out and you will see that it will work out for you again. And afterwards, I will put probably in a program with AI, and AI will cut out the boring parts, and every scene will have like a good movement, because even AI, it's not like working like that you put something on it and it will cut it perfectly, because if you give it garbage, it will be garbage. If you give them good stuff, it will be good stuff. So probably in a time I will make another video when I will show you how to grab the videos from here, and afterwards you put it in AI that will cut them perfectly on music. However, let me show you like another video that I made in with the real estate part, because I made some houses. I initially finished architecture, so that's why I'm using like those programs. So let me show them. Wait a second. Like here. So that's one. You see that's like one object. Afterward, you concentrate on the trees. Afterward, the third is like the lake, and you see it like together with the sky. So 1, 2, 3. It's really easy for the eye. Afterwards, you just put a simple movement, and it will be like more than enough. See? So I'm not moving like a simple movement to the left, to the right. I'm going outwards and in a rotation, and it's like really easy for the eye. Check it. But it moves like slowly. But even if I make it faster, it's like really easy for the eye. Why? Because I keep in the same line on this one. You don't have to think about it that much. And even so, if I put it back in the forest with like the 2,000 million trillion cars going in every direction, it's the same idea. It's like really, really easy for your eye. Even it's like a lot of movement.